So, Nikki, I, as a business owner, am in the early stages of an acquisition. But the big question I have is around my team. What do I tell to who, and when do I tell them?
Okay, so there's various things that you need to consider. Acquisitions are often extremely confidential. Um, that's because they may not happen. So you don't want to let the market and the employers and the customers know that something's going to happen and then it doesn't happen. So there's huge amounts of confidentiality. It's very sensitive as well, because often the company being acquired, the people in there may be very nervous about that they were being acquired, and therefore the current owners may not be sharing that information. So firstly, it is really important to make sure that you adhere to non-disclosure agreements and keep all the information as confidential as possible. However, it is, as the acquiring party, it's really important to have key members of your team involved during the acquisition. One, to make sure that the acquisition is successful, but also post-acquisition to make sure that the merging of the two businesses is as successful as possible. So communication is really important. So it is a very good idea to think about what parts of the acquisition that you are to share and when. What it's important to really convey within your communication the advantages of the acquisition, and that is to your current team and also the team that you're acquiring, because ultimately they are becoming one team. So, and it's really good if, whilst you're doing the acquisition and even pre-acquisition, to have a very clear vision of why you're doing this. What is the advantage of you acquiring this other business? Why do you want to do it? How is it going to benefit your employees? How is it going to benefit your customers? So, and how is it going to benefit finances? Now, sometimes those actual consequences may be negative to the team. So, because you could end up with 2 finance directors, 2 heads of operations. So it's extremely sensitive. So you may have a vision where actually there is a place for everybody, which is great. However, the realities often are that there will be some decrease in overall workforce. So you've got to do that very carefully, very sensitively, obviously completely legally as well. So you really need to look at what your communication strategy is going to be. What do you want to say, when, and to who, and make sure you really do convey your vision eloquently and understandably make it at a really clear level. It needs to be a vision isn't a vision if people don't understand what it is. So it needs to be very, very clear.